Good morning, guys. So we are here. It is the day after what should have been my transplant day. I should have been receiving my treatment, but we all know that things are different right now. So I hope that you guys are safe. I hope that you guys have all the necessities that you need for your home and family. And I thought I would just go ahead and shoot a vlog today. Things have been a little bit rough here on our farm. About 3 weeks ago, my symptoms started to come back. Not just symptoms, but my treatment started wearing off, I should say. So it's harder to stand, it's harder to walk, I'm in more pain, I'm having some anaphylactic issues. My central nervous system is definitely sensitive, not as sensitive, but it's definitely showing signs of just basic that my treatments are not as strong. And so when we did our stuff, we knew, okay, hey, it's going to take some time. We don't know how long they're going to last. They didn't even know if they would last or what it would help with. Like, we went in there thinking, okay, at least it'll help with, you know, this or that. Hopefully, we're like, okay, immune system definitely would be improving. And by treatments, guys, I had a stem cell transplant on November 8th, and I had stem cell injections done in my joints. I have some rare diseases and some other genetic conditions and health issues, autoimmune. And so, so I have not really been recording because at first we were trying to prepare to go, and then there was a fire at my husband's work. All sorts of things happened that it was just like, we shouldn't leave right now. This just isn't the time for us to leave. And then sure enough, I'm so glad we didn't, because I go to Mexico for my treatments and I don't know if we would have been able to make it back over the border. So right now in our little trailer, we are packed in tight. I'll do a little video in a second, but pretty much because we run a farm stand, we have access to other farmers' produce, and produce is something that won't necessarily run short. There is like some stored produce that, of course, it loses its shelf life, and so as all of our shelves we were finding empty here, and I really can't go out and do the shopping. I still don't do shopping. I still don't do a lot of that stuff. I go out every now and then, but I did go and stock up on stuff for the animals at our local Tractor Supply. I'll put a snip in the video from that. And I did go to our like farm co-op type thing where we pick up produce from other farms who like what we don't grow, and we can put those at our farm stand. This time I picked up things that usually I get things that are specifically like California grown, but this time I went for specific things. I wanted oranges, which are California grown, and I wanted potatoes, some squash, some onions, and that was like my basis. So I picked up 75 pounds of onions, 150 pounds of potatoes. I got Bakers, like big huge Bakers. I got Yukon Gold and Red. And for our family, because I can eat potatoes now, it was really important to go ahead and grab those. And then I got some acorn squash and a box of oranges. Those are all things that we will go through. The potatoes have a pretty long shelf life. The onions have a really good shelf life on them. And if, like, for me, I am someone, because I do more of like the holistic healing along with Western medicine and I can't think, alternative therapies and stuff like that. Like, I'm on both spectrums as far as like what treatments I do to help myself. I definitely, Alyssa, you're chomping. She's eating chips. So I definitely am all about putting the onions on my feet. It helps tremendously anytime I'm feeling sick. It increases your blood circulation and helps you detox, and I just really, really love that. So I love having onions on hand. It's great for like cutting up and putting around your house. It literally like pulls out bacteria and stuff out of the air. And you can, like, for me, some people make a poultice by like cooking it. I actually just like mush it up. I just mush it up. I make it into a paste and I put it on my chest. Just like I do my feet. And I will even like just cut slices and just lay them on my chest. And that has always worked for me. Some people like to put like Vaseline. I don't do anything petroleum. So there is like Burt's Bees brand that I've used before as like kind of the barrier or whatever. But I really just put it directly on my chest and I just rinse it off afterwards. And I have no problem. I feel like it really does help loosen up any congestion that's in there. But that's pretty much the basis of what we've done. Josh, my husband, did go out yesterday. He stocked up on some pantry type foods. We found cheese. Cheese was kind of a one I was really like sad about. We can make bread. We can make tortillas. We can make like little muffins and things like that. We don't really have an oven in here. But yeah, we can't make cheese at this point. Our cow's not in milk, and our little camper fridge doesn't really have enough space to be storing gallons of milk and things like that. So I'm not really in a rush because I did want to go and get a milk cow, but until we have adequate storage space to be storing milk, because when the fire happened, all of our refrigerators, the motors went out on them. It literally surged and ruined every motor in every fridge and every freezer that we had. We lost all of our meat. Our microwave, Alyssa and Josh are so sad about the microwave. I'm like, refrigerators, like our egg storage. Yeah, it was a convection oven microwave, one that goes like over the counter, but over the stovetop, but we didn't put it over the stovetop. It was huge. It was beautiful. But our house will be ready here, and hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, supposedly tomorrow. I don't know. The funniest part is we are on shelter in place. Our county, surrounding counties cannot be open for businesses unless you are like a necessity. And
they put a date on it now, April 7th.
Well, yeah, it's been on there.
Really?
Yeah. And then they'll extend it if they need to. So April 7th is like for our county and surrounding counties. And they may switch that back. I heard people were having a big old beach party in Florida, which I thought it was so funny. I seen the meme and it was like, so I feel like I'm in kindergarten and like 2 kids wouldn't follow what the teacher said, and now our recess, we just lost time from our recess. Reese's. Yeah, our recess. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So if we do lose time, and that, you know, I think it's a great thing being someone who's immune compromised and who was literally quarantined for months after my first procedure. And I always have to like guard myself during the winter months and whatnot, and like the sicker times of years when there are viruses going around from people. Like, this is a wonderful way. And it's what I always tell people. If you're not feeling good, please don't leave your house. It's that simple. Like, if you are not feeling good, if your throat's got a tickle, itching, if you've got a runny nose, if you're sneezing, if you're coughing, if your ears are hurting, like if you have something going on and you're feeling just a little bit off, just stay home. Let it run its course. You know, of course, seek medical attention if you need it. But there are people like us, our bodies cannot fight it. There are people who are worse off than me whose body cannot fight off certain things. And you know, for me, it's so funny. I say funny, and it's not really funny, but it's so odd. Oh, every time I get sick, it literally goes for my kidneys. I go from getting sick, and then all of a sudden my kidneys are just, you know, not working properly. And then my liver. And so I really try not to get sick. Well, everybody knows, like, elderly, you know, children. And this goes beyond just the virus, guys. This is just in general. Cold, flu, you know, sinus infections, whatever, you know. Just keep your germs to yourself, guys. Cover. If you're sneezing, if you're coughing, wash your sweaters or whatever arms you're coughing into. Sanitize your homes. There's vinegar, there's peroxide, there's all sorts of things. I'm not going to tell you if they kill viruses or not because I have no idea. But I'm going to get outside. Yeah, everybody should have no reason not to be doing their spring cleaning. Great idea. dust your blinds, your fans, clean your ceilings. Every year we used to go to my grandma's house and clean her ceilings. She would get out a bucket of dish soap and water, and we would get on the ladder and we would literally clean down her ceilings. She had like shiplap style ceilings with the wood beams and stuff, and so they were painted white, and we would wash all of her ceilings in the main portion of her home, her kitchen and dining and living room and family room. So I've got someone coming over to grab some eggs. We're not selling eggs. We don't have a huge production like we have in years past, because we've literally just been keeping our farm going. We're not expanding just yet, but we have enough to share with some people in need. So there's an elderly woman in our community who their neighbor knows us. She actually drove a limo to drive Alyssa to her prom a couple years ago. And so yeah, her first prom. So she's actually going to stop by and grab some eggs for her family and for her neighbor. And so after that, I'm pretty much out of eggs. I gave out probably about 10 or 12 dozen so far since this happened a few days ago. And so after that, I've just told people, like, well, it just depends on like what my chickens lay and who needs them the most, because pretty much if somebody has food and they don't really need them, I do have a couple of friends who have babies who, not babies, but they're babies to me. They're young ones, and they really do rely on eggs because kids are picky. And so I will be definitely making sure that if they're in need, that I give them to them. But I just sent a bunch home with them, and so we should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and chime out on this one because it's almost 12 minutes, but I guess I'll just post this as is, and part 2 of today's vlog will go up later on. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of update on like where we've been, why I haven't been posting. Thank you guys for your comments and for your prayers. We did buy a new car. We were really blessed to be able to get financed for a vehicle. We needed a vehicle. You guys could see we were in pretty desperate times, and we've been without a car for quite some time. It's been very hard on our situation. My husband needed a reliable vehicle to get to and from work, and with all the money that we were trying to put into fixing and mending vehicles, it just wasn't working. So I will show you guys our new car in another video. I think I might have one picture of it on my phone, so I'll put that in our next video and try to really get you guys up to tune. And I have some video footage from past weeks. I may put together just like a random video of that, but stay tuned. I'll walk you guys around the farm and kind of show you some of where we're at. It's a muddy mess out there.